When the woods get loud with boot tracks and the easy deer vanish, sitting all day in a tree can feel like waiting on a ghost. That's when a careful spot and stalk can save your season, if you do it with discipline. Hey y'all, I'm Kayla from Wild Camo. Today we're breaking down how to move on pressured whitetails from the ground, using wind, terrain, and the deer's own instincts to close the distance. First, when does spot and stalk make more sense than sitting? 3 situations. 1. After hunting pressure spikes and deer start hugging thick cover and edges. You won't see them on the open food in daylight, so you go find them where they feel safe. 2. On windy or drizzly days when the woods are noisy and your steps are naturally masked. 3. When fresh sign tells you they shifted. Brand new tracks crossing logging roads, hot droppings in cover, rub lines that suddenly hop ridges. That's a green light to get mobile. Before you take a step, plan the wind and thermals. Mornings on hills usually pull air upslope. Evenings drop it downhill. In broken terrain, aim for a crosswind or quartering wind that carries your scent across the deer's likely line of travel, not into it. If you're stalking a ridge bed, stay just off the top on the leeward side so the wind can skim past you rather than swirl in the bowl. In cutover bottoms and draws, thermals can reverse on you, so test with a wind checker often and move only when it's favorable. Speed is your enemy. Think micro movement. A few slow steps, then long pauses, 30 seconds, a minute, even longer. Let the woods settle and scan with your eyes before your feet move again. Use shadows, tree trunks, and brush to break your outline. If a deer snaps its head up, freeze. Whitetails key on motion. Often, if you become part of the tree, they'll go back to feeding or browsing after a long stare down. Noise management matters most on dry leaves. Time your steps with wind gusts, creek noise, or a squirrel scolding. Roll your feet heel to toe and place each step where you've already visually cleared the ground. On damp days, use that blessing, quiet leaves and soft soil, to slip deeper into security cover than most folks ever try. Ground scent is a hunt killer in pressured woods. Don't cut across trails feeding into known bedding. Loop wide using ditches, skid roads, or the backsides of brushy fingers, so the deer never cross your track before you set up the shot. Think ahead about your exit too. If you bump deer on the way out, you just taught them where not to be tomorrow. Where should you actually look for pressured deer? Edges and seams. The downwind side of thick cover where they can smell danger behind them and see in front. The heads of draws and the leeward third of ridges. Creek side benches with a quick escape. Up or down. In flat timber, think soft edges. Transitions from open woods into saplings, greenbrier, or cattail pockets. Midday, bedded deer often relocate a bit with shifting wind. This is a great window to still hunt those edges slowly. Calling on the stalk. Keep it minimal in heavily hunted areas. Blind calling can backfire when deer have been educated. Instead, read the body language of a buck you can see. A single soft grunt to turn him, then silence. If he bristles or hooks away, let him settle and reposition with the wind rather than arguing with plastic. When you spot a deer, don't laser in on antlers and rush. Pick a landmark you can stalk to with cover. Move when the deer's head is down or behind a tree. If it beds, use terrain to close the last 60 to 80 yards. Stay low, stay patient, and let the wind make decisions for you. For archery, you're often waiting for the deer to stand or feed into a lane you've already picked. For a gun, confirm a clean backstop and resist the urge to thread through brush. Wait for the high percentage angle. One quick visual to put this in context. You'll see charts from GPS collared deer that spike activity at dawn and dusk, with a clear daytime lull. And in many places a further dip in daylight movement when hunter activity ramps up. We'll put one of those graphs on screen here. That's why our stalk windows anchor to wind helpful times and quiet weather, and why we target bedding adjacent edges rather than exposed food sources in daylight. Finally, mindset. Spot and stalk isn't bulldozing through the woods. It's chess. You'll abandon bad stalks the moment wind turns. You'll back out when crunchy leaves make it a coin flip. and you'll be shocked how close you can get when you align wind, noise, and cover with what a pressured deer already wants to do to survive. If you've got a different take or something that's worked for you under pressure, I'd love to hear it in the comments. This is one of those topics where local terrain changes everything. If you learned something and want more breakdowns like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and share this with a buddy who struggles once the woods get crowded. Thanks for watching, y'all. Until next time, happy hunting.